Nigeria, welcome to the news at 6 o'clock, and I am Chelsea Jegede reporting live for Amplitude Fort Production AFP. Here are the headlines. A 37-year-old man, Adeyemi Morenikeji, has been sentenced to death after he was found guilty of killing one Mrs. Rachel Anyowale, his boss's wife. Shaking South Africans clean up after deadly unrest. Serena Williams retires in tears from Wimbledon. The accused, Adeyemi Morenikeji, was a former truck driver for the husband of the deceased. In his confession, when he was paraded at the police headquarters of Eleyele, Ibadan, April 2019, the accused said he killed his boss's wife as revenge after he was sacked by his boss. The accused said on April 11, 2019, he lured the woman out of her office on the pretext of helping her to find a spiritual solution to her marital problem. He said, "On the way to the spiritual house, I strangled Mrs. Anyowale, left her body by the riverside, and went away with her Pontiac Vibe vehicle." 1 week after the murder, Morenikeji was arrested by the Oyo State Police Command in Songota, Ogun State, and has been prosecuted accordingly. Justice Adenike Adeyo of the High Court of Justice located on Awe Road, Oyo State, in her ruling on Friday, July 16th, said after thorough deliberation by both the prosecuting counsel, state counsel, and defense counsel, the accused had no objection but pleaded for mercy. Before delivering her judgment, Justice Adeyo stressed that the court had gone through all the proof of evidence as provided by the list of witnesses and the list of exhibits such as the statement of the defendant, Vibe Pontiac car LAG KJA 67CY, ITEL cell phone, all found in possession of the accused when arrested. There was sufficient evidence to convict the accused. The defense counsel prayed the court to temper justice with mercy. In her 62 pages judgment, Justice Adenike Adeyo said, "This honorable court hereby sentences you, Adeyemi Morenike, to 14 years imprisonment with hard labor for count 11 for robbing late Rachel Oyewumi Anyowale of her Pontiac car and phones." Justice Adeyo, also in her ruling in Court 1, said, "This court sentenced you, Adeyemi Morenikeji, to death for count 1 of the murder of one Rachel Anyowale." Shaking South Africans clean up after deadly unrest. South Africans on Saturday cleaned up shopping centers and stores looted during a week of shocking violence that rocked the country and left more than 200 dead. Aid organizations also handed out food in communities that had been cut off from the main roads or where food shops were ransacked in the unrest. The violence, the worst in post-apartheid South Africa, erupted after former President Jacob Zuma was sentenced to 15 months in jail for snubbing a corruption inquiry. His successor, President Cyril Ramaphosa, who came to office promising to curb graft, said the riots were a, in quote, coordinated and well-planned attack on the country's young democracy. In quote, "Using the pretext of a political grievance, those behind these acts have sought to provoke a popular insurrection," Ramaphosa said in a televised address on Friday night. The rioting caused widespread destruction, leaving thousands of businesses trashed, including many retail shops that were specifically targeted. As an uneasy calm set in Saturday, residents in the hard-hit KwaZulu-Natal province swept up debris at the Dubé Village Mall in the township of Inanda, north of Durban, shoveling it into refuse bags. Behind them, walls topped with spikes and razor wires had been spray painted with the words "Free Zuma." Zuma, whose home province is KwaZulu-Natal, commands support among loyalists in the ruling African National Congress (ANC), who portrays him as a champion of the poor. Walking across a charred shop, Sikukani Hongwani, a private security guard, was on duty when the mall was attacked last Saturday, just after Ramaphosa had addressed the nation. He saw a mob of people starting to burn a nearby garage and he fled. He is still haunted. "We are scared even now, and the memories are coming back," he told AFP. "We can't sleep." Many in the province are now going hungry after food stores were looted and burned or cut off from suppliers as roads closed. The government, humanitarian aid agencies, charities, and churches have started moving food to people in need, including hospitals, patients, and families. We are loading bread for staff for 5 hospitals, Imtiaz Suleiman, leader of Gift of the Givers, told AFP. Suleiman and that his food convoys were being escorted by armed security. AFP journalists saw a supermarket delivery vehicle escorted by police. Yesterday, we sent food for patients in private hospitals. They had no food to feed patients. They have all the money, but they can't buy anything. They called us saying patients haven't eaten, he said. The organization was also delivering food parcels door to door after a government minister told him Friday that dozens of Durban areas had no access to food. Suleiman added. The few shops that were spared are open for a few hours, and in some places, price of bread has almost doubled. It is mayhem because the few shops that are here cannot accommodate the whole community. The few stores have got snaking queues, like people are going there to vote, said Siyanda Ksumalo, a community activist in Nanda. Poorly prepared. Traffic was back to normal along the main highway linking the north to the port city of Durban after it had been closed for much of the week. Ramaphosa said the instigators had sought to exploit the social and economic conditions under which many South Africans live, conditions that have worsened since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. He said that business owners told him it would take a few months to restore normal operations following the destruction, interrupting supply chains, and raising the specter of shortages. Of the 212 people killed, 180 died in KwaZulu-Natal. According to the government figures, some of the fatalities were shot and others died in looting stampedes. More than 2,500 people have been arrested for various offenses linked to the violence, including theft. The government said all but one of the suspected masterminds are at large. Ramaphosa admitted that his government was poorly prepared for an orchestrated campaign of public violence, destruction, and sabotage of this nature. He has called up army reserves and ordered the deployment of 25,000 troops, 10 times the number that he initially deployed. Opposition politicians have condemned the government's handling of the crisis, calling on Ramaphosa to ensure the suspected masterminds are arrested and charged. Now to sports. American legend Serena Williams dreams of winning an 8th Wimbledon singles title, and equally Margaret Court's Grand Slam singles record of 24 ended in tears on Tuesday. The 39-year-old was leading 3-1 in the first set of her first-round match against Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus when she slipped and had to have her left ankle examined. Williams returned from receiving medical attention but called it a day at 3-3 and walked off center court in tears. It's the first time that Williams has bowed out in the first round of Wimbledon. The tears said it all, as with the withdrawals of the 2019 champion Simona Halep and of Naomi Osaka prior to the tournament, the American would have fancied her chances of at last equaling the controversial court's landmark. Williams was giving the Olympics a miss anyways, giving her time to recover ahead of the US Open in September, which she has won 6 times. Brutal for Serena Williams, but center court is extremely sleepy out there. Not easy to move out there, tweeted British star Andy Murray. Williams, who has also had strapping on her right thigh, hasn't won a slam since the 2017 Australian Open. Williams' slip came at the same end of the court as that of Adrian Manarino, which brought a premature end to the Frenchman's hard-fought match with Roger Federer. Manarino slipped and fell late in the 4th set and pulled out the beginning of the 5th set. Federer remarked he felt the surface was more slippery when the roof is in use, which it had been due to rain earlier on Tuesday. And that's it for the news at 6 p.m. I remain your host, Chelsea Jegede. And if you're just tuning in, kindly join us next time, next week, same station, only at AFP to get your latest updates, latest gist, and of course, latest news. But till then, don't touch that dial and keep listening to AFP. Goodbye, Nigeria.